This flyer right here just really caught my attention and kind of stilled me for a second because I thought it was kind of an odd picture here. The campaign right now with Israel going into Gaza, the campaign is called Gideon's Chariots. But yet these flyers that they sent, that they put in, telling the people to leave before they'll get hurt, telling them to evacuate certain areas. Here, this flyer is the Red Sea. And so these flyers, they did catch my attention, this parting of the Red Sea. And this is the biblical reference here that they gave was because it's talking about the unstoppable God that we serve and how the Israeli army is going to be unstoppable coming in and warning the people to get out for their own safety. Um, but for years, especially in the Watchman community, this phrase, our Red Sea moment, we've been saying for years that we see this Red Sea moment coming to a head. We see this where we're getting backed into a spot where it looks like our only rescue is going to be the rapture because we see the tribulation coming harder and harder and faster and faster. And we're teetering. We talk about that a lot, teetering on the edge of the tribulation. And so at Israel's Red Sea moment, just as it seemed her only option was to be either destroyed by Pharaoh's army or drowned in the sea, God parted the sea. And Israel was saved, and their salvation resulted in the destruction of their enemy. Because of course, the Pharaoh and his army and their chariots, they went into the Red Sea after Israel, and the water closed back over them and destroyed them. Well, similar, our Red Sea moment is going to be destruction for the world. Our Red Sea moment is going to cause complete chaos when we're taken out. So our salvation is going to also result in sudden destruction. And that's why these things can be bittersweet, because here we can't wait for our wedding day. The world is preparing for war. We talk about this quite often. The world's preparing for war, but understand the world is preparing for World War III. The world's preparing for war with Israel. Ultimately, the main thing is Satan, the ruler of this world right now, is preparing for war against God. But we are preparing for a wedding. And us being airlifted out before the war begins, it is bittersweet because it will be sudden destruction for the world. And 1 Thessalonians 5, 2 through 6. And see, this is, our Red Sea moment, but we see how it ties directly with what the world is calling for right now. For you are fully aware that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While people are saying peace and security, destruction will come upon them suddenly, like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. But you, brothers, are not in darkness, that this day should overtake you like a thief. For you are all sons of light and sons of day. We do not belong to the night or the darkness. So then let us not sleep as the others do, but let us remain awake and sober. And so, here, a couple of things that really stick out, of course, is this call for this false peace and security. And we've heard this call for decades. We've heard this call, especially in the UN, and it gets louder and louder. The last few weeks, it's been deafening, this call for peace and security. And so right here, a two-state solution, Israel and Palestine living side by side in peace and security, with Jerusalem as the capital of both states, is not just a vision, it is necessary. It is a necessity. And so now anybody with common sense knows that's the stupidest thing ever, that could never work. But we see here the pull for that, all for peace and security. The whole world is saying peace and security, but then sudden destruction is going to come upon them. Dividing God's land, dividing Jerusalem, it's bad enough to divide Israel, but to divide the heart, to divide Jerusalem is definitely not a good idea. And so we have this call, this plead for this false peace and security. And it's so close to playing out here in a few weeks. They are going to meet in June. I think they pushed it back to I think sometime between June 20th and the end of June, when they're going to really force the division of Israel and force a two-state solution on Israel, regardless of what she says. And they're going to force the division of Jerusalem. This is huge. Like, if you are in the Bible at all, this should make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And so, also, just seeing how with the Abraham Accords, it's not just about the land, but it's also about the one world religion. Right here, we see Abraham Accords declaration. We encourage efforts to promote interfaith and intercultural dialogue in advance of the culture of peace, to advance a culture of peace among the three Abrahamic religions and all humanity. And so you see more and more this taking, and we've talked about this a lot, taking the Abrahamic covenant that God made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and counterfeiting it and twisting it to the Abraham Accords and this false interfaith movement that is getting so much steam right now.